Greenland, January 21st, 1968. The photograph was provided by Mr. Oscar Larsen, a Danish national working at the northernmost installation of the U.S. Armed Forces, located some 750 miles north of the Arctic Circle. On the 21st of January, 1968, a U.S. Air Force B-52 bomber crashed near the Thule Air Base in the Danish territory of Greenland. The bomber crashed into the sea. 6 of the 7 crew members managed to eject, while 1 crew member was killed, as an explosion was detected north of the airbase. 3 groups were sent to recover the crew and 3 groups to measure the radiation levels in a radius of 15 miles from the airbase. Larsen was one of the personnel that went to measure the contamination levels. The following is an extract of his file report to his superiors. We were split into 3 teams, each team consisting of 3 men. My team was led by Sergeant Christensen. We were designated to search a specific area for the remains of the aircraft, some 15 miles north of the Thule Air Base. The mission was declared as critical because the aircraft was carrying 4 B-28 thermonuclear bombs, and so we were ordered to measure the radioactive contamination of the area. About 4 hours in the search, we came across a large sphere and a smaller object by its side. It had some majestic glow that was difficult to comprehend, as the brightness was always coming from behind the object, no matter from which angle we looked at it. We went around it in a full circle, and the brightness seemed always to be coming from behind the object. The object itself felt extremely dense and very dark towards the center of the sphere. The smaller sphere appeared to move slightly to the left and back to the right of the larger object. The larger object was perfectly static, hovering at about 5 feet above the ice surface. Our handheld equipment showed no radiation emissions. We also did not detect any changes in the temperature surrounding the object. Sergeant Christensen was about 20 feet in front of us, slowly approaching the object. I took my camera, which I had in my backpack, and took a few photographs. The smaller object started to zigzag from left to right. At that time, the sergeant was still slowly approaching the object. About 15 seconds passed, and then suddenly the objects were gone. They didn't fly away in great speed. They simply disappeared, vanished. Sergeant Christensen was nowhere to be seen. We started calling the sergeant, yelling in all directions, but there was no response. We started to search for cracks in the ice, as we thought that the sergeant might have simply slipped into a crack in the ice, but the surface was perfectly flat, without any cracks. At that point, I made the decision to call the base for backup and help. In 2009, Mr. Larsen agreed for a short interview over the phone. The following is what he had to say about the incident. Photograph I sent to you is the one that I have kept for myself, because the sergeant is in it. You can see him standing next to the dark sphere. I don't know what had happened to him, or if he is still alive somewhere after all these years. I would like to believe that is the case. We were ordered not to talk about this incident. I don't know what the thing was or where it came from, but it is not from this world. Mr. Larsen died in 2012.